Hello and welcome to React lecture series. So today we'll see the backend development. So we'll start to create our Express web server. But before that, we also want to see the HTTP web server where the Express work on top of HTTP web server. So we'll see briefly this one. And then we also see HTTP request and response message format, that how web server expect the request message and send the response message. Okay, and then we'll create a couple of routes. Um, okay, and then we'll see how we can add some static HTML pages. Okay. So from our full stack web development picture, so this is the one that we are going to work. So you are going to create Express, okay, and then you also want to use the Node.js, okay. So Node.js is a open source cross-platform server-side JavaScript runtime environment, which enable to create a server client environment, okay. We need to install Node.js. I hope that if you followed previous lectures, you have installed Node.js already. You can quickly check from the VS Code terminal if you just write node-v, and then it show that okay, which version of the node is installed. Okay. So for exporting function, when you want to write the modular approach, especially when your apps is getting larger and larger, you don't want to write everything in single file, right? So that's why we need to write into multiple files. So and we can export the functions, the tools that we need to another file, right? So we can export two ways. One is just the export, which is called named export. Another one is the default export. Okay, so the default is basically just for one function or tool for one file, okay. um, but you can use as many as you want named export, okay. But when you want to import, for the importing, for the default, when you export default, we just write import and then the 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 function that's we exported, so name of it. But for the named export, when you want to import, we need to use the curly braces. We also have seen in the React part, just to introduce again, that when we are developing the backend, the same way we can also do the export and import. Okay, so this is the HTTP request and response message format. Okay, so we need to be familiar with this because if you want to send the request, then we need to know that how we need to format our request message, and then how we should format our response message. Okay, so the HTTP request message, the first line is the request type, so you can write the method. So it can be get, post, or put, delete. Okay, those are the methods. And then this is the path, and then including the host address, right? So host address and the path and the version number. So there could be other header lines. And here will be your request body. Okay, so that's the body. Okay, so usually the body will be in an encoded form. The response message, the first line is that is the version number and then status code. Okay, so the status code 200 means that the phrase is okay. Okay, and then some other metadata like content length and then content type, those things. Okay, and then this is the message body. So this is the HTTP request and response message format. Okay, so although we are going to use Express, but Express actually work on top of HTTP web server, okay? So it also use the same request and response message format. So here is the HTTP web server, okay? So that's, we're not going to use this one, just to show you that how the HTTP web server works, because we will use Express, which work on top of HTTP web server. So HTTP has the create server function. Okay, the create server, you use a callback function. Okay, and then the first line is that, so when you're writing the response, okay, so we are basically just sending the response. So it's a res.write head. So this is the status code, and then we write the content type is text HTML, and then you can write as many line you want to write. Okay, and then the last line you can write res.end. And then you also need to run the server with the server.listen method, and the listen function will have a port number, that which port you are running, and then there's a callback function here. Okay, so in that callback function you can write whatever you want to write to give a hint that server is running. Okay, so that's the HTTP web server. And you can also send an HTML as a response. So then we need the read file from the fs module. Okay, so read file function will read an entire HTML. So let's say that you have an HTML named sample.html. You can read the entire content and then put in the data, and that data you can send. Okay, so that's how you can send an entire HTML through the HTTP web server. Now, so when you want to change anything on the server, every time, so if you run your code using Node and your file name, whatever the file name, the JavaScript file, so every time you change in that file, you need to restart the server, right? But there is another package called Nodemon. Nodemon is basically monitor the node, right? And then it monitor your entire project. Okay, so if you use the Nodemon, then every time you modify anything on your JavaScript, you don't need to restart the server. Okay, so the server will automatically keep checking the update that you make, and then it will just display the updated information. Um, so you can get some built-in function using some libraries, like say for example underscore is a library which can give you some functions. For example, the random function you can use which generate a random number with your given range. Okay, so like this you can install package, write the command npm install and the package name. Okay, so there are some handy command like npm install package name to install a package. um, if you install globally, so that's the global option, you can see that what are the packages you have installed, right? npm list command, although you can also see from the json file as well. And then if you want to update a package, you write npm update the package name. If you want to uninstall a package, you write npm uninstall package name. So npm is a node package manager which will help you to install, update and delete the packages. Now the express, so we are going to use the express framework, okay, which basically work on top of http web server, which we have just seen. Okay, so user will send the request to the express will extract the request information, and then it generate the response. Okay, so today we'll just send the response in here. But in our final one, where we basically will connect our database, so the Express will get the data information from the web server, okay, and then send it back to there, okay, send in here, and then Express will send the response to the user, okay. So the database part is still missing. So in the next class, we'll connect with the database. Okay. So to create a project hierarchy, we can write npm init command, and which will create the JSON file, and then it will keep track of your dependencies, right? Um, so and then we'll start working on that. So this is right to install. After installing Express, so you write npm. So to install it, you write npm install express, right? And then after that, so you import the express, take the handle of the express using the app, and then you write app dot method name. So it can be get, it can be post, it can be delete, it can be update, it can be sorry, it can be put, right? Those are the methods. Okay, so we'll see basically get and post today. Okay, so this is the route. Okay, and then this is the callback function that if someone send a request to this route, and then what you want to do. Okay, so this basically you want to execute this function, and then you send the response. Okay, and then you also need to start the server, right, with the app.listen method. So this is the port number, and then you start the server with the, this is your function, callback function, which shows that the server is running. Okay, you can add additional route. Say for example, this is the number route where it generates a random number, and then send back to the user. Okay, so middleware function, sometimes we need middleware function, which basically helps you to do additional things. So for example, it can examines or modifies the request and response. Okay, um, so middleware function run whenever a request comes to the server. One of the example of middleware is like Morgan. Okay, so Morgan can check the HTTP request and response. Uh, so if you want to add some static HTML, then we need to use another middleware. So this is app.use. App is basically express.use, and then we write express.static. So this is basically the static file, and we can write where we want to locate our static file. So the public is here is the directory where we want to store our static file. Okay. So in the coding demo, we'll see that to create the repository and put some static HTML file. And then now let's say that you have this HTML, the static HTML inside the public repository, and then you have a form, and then form action is hello route, and then method is get. Okay, so if you submit this form, it will go to this route. So since this route is using the get method, the route name is hello, so it will match with this. And then this one will extract from the request.query. Okay, so when you use the method is get, the information go as a part of the query. Okay, so that's why you need to extract the information from the query. Okay, and then it will get the information from the name property. Okay, so this is the value of the name property. So from here it will get the information. Okay, and then from here it will get the information in here. Okay, now for the post you need to add the another middleware called express.urlEncoded. Okay, and then you can say that whether you want the nested parsing or not, which is basically you can say extended equal to true. By default, extended equal to false. It means that it just the simple parsing, not the nested parsing. Okay, so the recommended one is that you write extended equal to true. So here our method is post, and then same route hello. So it will match with this one because we have the method is post here. The route name is hello. Okay. So if you submit this form, it will go to this route. And then since the method is post, so the information will go at a part of the request body, not part of the query. Okay. So you need to write request.body. And when you want to extract the information from the body, you need to write, you need this one express.urlEncoded, okay, to be set. Okay. The one more way you can get the information from the request is that the use params. Okay, so you write request.params, okay, and then parameter name. Okay, so for example, if you have this route, okay, so we have here and here, so it's basically using get method, but the information go as a part of the parameters. Okay, So that's why you said that, okay, so this is your route, and then there is a colon, and then this is the parameter name, and then you will get the information from request.params.parameter name. Okay. If you want to extract multiple information, so then you need to write params dot. So this is the first parameter value, and then this is the second parameter value. Okay, so all this thing we are going to see in our coding demo in the next lecture. So thank you and see you in the next lecture.